All right, so today we are going to be solving literal equations. So literal equations just have letters instead of numbers. So if you look at this top table here, I'm going to solve this problem on the left first, and then I'll show you how we're going to solve the same format of a problem, but now there's letters instead of numbers, like where the 4 and 6 are. So first we add 4 to both sides. All right, so then you're left with x equals 10. Okay, so that's easy enough. We've done that before. So now the same format on the left, or sorry, the right column here, I'm going to solve for x. So I'm going to circle it here. I need x by itself, so I'm going to add c, add c. So it's just like what I did in the right or the left column. I added 4 to both sides. Here I'm adding c to both sides. So I'm left with x equals v plus c, and then that is my answer. Okay, so this is a little bit weird today because now your answer has several letters in it instead of just like, oh, x equals 10. So let's go down to the next row. If I had 3x equals 12, in order to solve for x, I need to divide both sides by 3. All right, so you're left with x equals 4. So the same idea on the right column here. If I'm solving for x, so I'm going to circle x. I need to get rid of whatever is not x, so that's y. So they're being multiplied, so the opposite of multiplication is division. So I can divide both sides by y. Those y's cancel. So I'm just left with x equals w divided by y, and that's how you leave your answer. All right, one more on this chart. We have 2x minus 7 is equal to 11. First step, you need to add 7 to both sides. Okay, so we get 2x equals 18. There we go. All right, now I need to divide both sides by 2. So x equals 9. So I'm going to follow that same model for this right-hand equation. So instead of adding 7, I'm going to add c to both sides. So I have ax is equal to h plus c. You could also write c plus h because addition property is commutative, so that's fine as well. But now here I'm still solving for x. Sorry, let me circle those variables because it tells us up on the top here that we are solving for x. Okay, so I need to divide by this a that's in front of x. So I'm just left with x equals h plus c all over a. All right, let's scroll down here. We have a couple more examples down below. So we are solving, when solving literal equations, we are following the same steps as when we solve equations with just x or just t. So number 1 here, we're solving for m. So I need to move that v over first. Okay, so now I have mc equals x plus v. Now I need to divide both sides by c. Okay, so those c's cancel. So I'm left with m equals x plus v over c. If you want to use a highlighter to highlight those letters, feel free to do that. Number 2, we're solving for c. So I'm just going to underline it because I don't have a highlighter with me right now. But that's the variable we're solving for. So I have a and c are right next to it. So they're all multiplied together. So in order to undo multiplication, I need to divide. So I can divide by whatever is not c. So a and d are what I'm dividing by. So those cancel. So I'm just left with c equals y divided by A times D, and that is my answer. Okay, then number 3, we have to solve for x. I'm going to underline it. Okay, so I need to move m first. So I need to subtract m from both sides. Okay, so I have 1/2 x equals c minus m. Remember, you have to do reverse PEMDAS. So subtraction and addition come before multiplication and division. So now I need to get rid of this 1 divided by 2. So the opposite of division would be multiplication. So I'm going to times both sides by 2. So the catch here is that I'm multiplying the entire right side by 2. So I need some parentheses. So I'm going to simplify it now. So you can write it like this, x equals 2 and then parentheses c minus m, or you can distribute it or like I'm going to write below. Either way is fine. It's the same equation, just a different form. All right, last one here. We're solving for y. I underline y. Okay, so I need to move AC over. AC are multiplied together right now, but they're being added, here we go, to y. So the opposite of this positive AC is minus AC. So minus AC minus AC. So then I'm left with y equals the letter D minus AC, and then I'm done. I solved for y, and y is by itself. Okay, so that's what we have today for our literal equations day 1 notes. Make sure you're working on the backside, all those problems in the bronze, silver, and gold categories.